You pass the real estate exam, and for about 5 minutes, you feel incredible. And then that question hits. Now what?
Because no one is going to hand you a business ready to go, and no one tells you what to do on Monday morning. And that moment right there is where most real estate careers either start strong or slowly disappear.
That's right. So today, we're going to fix all that. This is episode 409.
Welcome to Wandering But Not Lost, your online source for finding balance so that you can align, connect, and prosper. And now your hosts, Jen O'Brien and Matt Emerson.
Well, welcome back to the Wandering But Not Lost podcast. The show notes, as well as a link to the powerful action plan that we built for you and are going to talk about today, are over at WBNLpodcast.com.
Yes, and if you're still with us listening from our intro, there's a good chance you're standing at a very specific moment, in your life, in your next career, because you just passed that real estate exam, or you're about to take the exam. Maybe you're in pre-licensing school, or you're wondering, should I go get a real estate license? Yeah. And what you're realizing maybe quicker than expected is this, especially if you've already taken the exam. The exam wasn't the hard part.
Yeah, not even close, right? I mean, you might feel like it when you're prepping for the exam, but the exam tests what you've memorized, right? And Jen O'Brien, you're doing a lot of this test prep stuff now, and you're dealing with those agents that are dealing with that right now. And it does feel like a lot when you're doing that. But the business tests what you actually do every single day. And more importantly, it tests who you become in the process.
Exactly. So from this moment forward, wherever you are in the process, once you're let's pick it up from here. Once you're past the exam, and you've passed it, you're not in necessarily study mode. You're going to be in a different kind of learning mode. That study mode is different than learning the business mode, but you're really building something. You're building a business. You're building your reputation because it is you, Inc. And a skill set for many people that you got new skill sets that you're going to have to learn and hone, and they compound over time when you continue to use them.
Right. And here's the shift that changes everything. You're not working for a business to show up. You're building one from day one. And that's a huge paradigm, especially if you've never been, your own boss before or responsible for your own actions.
And honestly, Matt and I know from our experience, our combined 60 plus years of real estate experience, and I personally have done a lot of hiring and training of brand new licensees. And I will, from my experience, and we can do this by just looking at the numbers statistically out there, the agents who succeed in that first year, get some deals closed, hit their goals, are the ones who start before they feel ready. They don't wait, okay? Yeah. They don't wait for that business to come to them, as Matt is saying. They set intentions and they take action day one once they've got a license, once they've chosen a broker and the license is in, I should say.
That's right. Okay. So today we're going to give you something we wish every new agent had at this exact moment.
I wish I had it.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I wish I had it too. This is a real plan. It's not theory. It's not motivation, although, we're going to keep you motivated during the process. It's a structure for your first 90 days. All right, so let's go into the deep dive. And we're going to pull up the document that we have for you. And I think it's going to blow you away. I think you're going to look at that and you're going to say, I need that document.
And the best part, it's completely free.
Oh, no, I like that part.
So as Matt mentioned, I've been doing a lot of more training lately here in Nevada, and I am training on all levels. I teach continuing ed, I teach post-licensing first-year students, and I'm having a lot of fun teaching pre-licensing again. They're all different challenges, and they're all different groups of people that I love the variety of teaching in those things. And I've just, in talking to so many people that are in the pre-licensing, they have so many questions. And this guide is has been something I've wanted to do for a long time. And being around people who have tons of questions is what motivated us to create it. But we know there's lots of people out there who might be thinking about getting into the business, and we want to give you the real deal here. So we call it the New Agent 90-Day Action Plan. Now, high level, what's in here is 14 questions to ask brokers. You might want in a good presentation, the broker's probably going to answer a lot of those, but 14 questions in case they don't talk about it. that we think you need to really know the answers to. We have a daily framework that we call the Do the Daily in these 90 days that we're going to show you that in a minute. And there's a very specific 90 day, what to do in the first 30, then 60, then 90 days. Plus, everything we do here at WBNL Coaching is taking our training to the next level and integrating AI. So this document, this 90-day agent guide, has several AI prompts that are going to help you with these 90 days. Okay, we'll kind of cover what those are. And we decided, because when I was putting this together, I was like, well, I need to give everybody 2 additional bonuses because of what we're going to cover with you here. And one of them is, if you have new homes in your area, like we do here in Nevada, if you have new homes construction, it's a huge opportunity initially for new agents to start learning. So we have a whole download that's in the one page that's all about what questions do you ask when you go out to new home construction model sites and so forth. And the second one is, in the 3rd month, we're going to talk about how important it is to start setting up a newsletter. And we're sharing the newsletter that I've been using in my business, the newsletter template, along with an AI prompt that I use to create that newsletter every month. So Let's go, Matt. That's what you're getting in this guide, okay? Very specific. It's like 25 pages long.
Yeah.
Because there's details in here, and there's mindset stuff, and there's a little bit of, motivation, because we're motivators, right, Matt? We're going to cover all that. So right up front, we talk about choosing your brokerage and just some stuff for you to read. And the bottom line here is you need to do 3 to 5 interviews. Bottom line, not just one, 3 to 5. And you're going to need to go with people who are ready to take on new agents. Not every broker hires brand new agents. Some people will hire people, even if you are new agents, to get you in and hope you close. But if you don't get certain support and training and so forth, you need to pass those brokers up. All right. So we're talking to you about that. You're interviewing them just like they're interviewing you. It's a different mindset, right, Matt? I mean, you're going and interviewing them. So we wanted to arm you with 14 questions. And I'm just going to start with the first question. You can download it to get the rest of the questions. All right. That first question, I think, is a good one to ask, is the training question. Okay.
Yep.
Stand by. Sorry. All right. Here's the first question. What does your new agent training program look like? How long does it last? And is there a cost? Okay. And let them answer. So what you're looking for is, you want specific. Is there certain hours? Are you meeting? Is it all up online? Are you actually coming in and meeting with someone? Or are they expecting you just to go watch some videos? Okay. Is there classroom? Is there any workshop, like ride along? Are you out in the field learning how to do anything? If they say we have a great training program, that is not a great answer. Okay.
All right.
A schedule is an answer. Some brokerages can charge for their training. Now, here's the deal. That's not necessarily a red flag and a reason not to choose them. Okay. But you just need to know what you do when you're going in there. You need to know the cost. There's other questions there about cost and a lot of other ones, but that's like an example of the depth of the level of the questions that we have for you in here. Okay.
Yeah, because when what really, and you have to think about that, right? When you're in your first year of being a new agent, you really need to know up front, who actually is going to be training you as well, who's guiding you, who picks up the phone when you need help when it's 8 o'clock at night, right? Those are the things you need to know. So,
and so they're all in there. Like, a good recruiter, good interviewer is going to cover majority of this if they're hiring new people, but we've got them in there for you, and there's 14 of them, and that was the first one. The last one, let me hit the last one. The last one I love. Well, there's 2 last ones. The 13th question is, kind of get a copy of your independent contractor agreement.
Yeah, that's a good one.
And that is a big one. If somebody's afraid to have you or doesn't want you to leave with a copy of the ICA, that's a red flag. You need to read all the details in the independent contractor agreement. And some of the questions that we have there for you are asking about things like termination policy and things you need to know. I find a lot of people don't read things that they sign. So you need to look at that before you sign. Okay. And then the very last question we have on here is, and I love this one. Can I speak with a couple agents that you have that are here that have been here for less than a year? And let them, and if they automatically go absolutely, or if you're in the office and there's people there, see if you can go get a couple names of somebody to call and see what they think. And if they don't want to do that, then that's a little bit of a concern. Okay.
These are great questions because I think so many people, when they're getting into the business, either know somebody that works at a company. So that's one way. That's one angle of entry, right? That it's a brand that they've liked, or it's a sign that they like, or it's convenient to their home, or there's a lot of reasons to join. But you know what? You just need to put all those things aside and then focus on these questions, because these are going to get to the bottom and the real meat of what you're going to want and need when you actually get in that brokerage.
And then, Matt, and to this last point, if I think back 34 years ago, I didn't know anything about real estate. Okay. Yep. I got out of the military and I moved here to Las Vegas, and here's what I knew. I was looking for three things. And to this day, this is what I think most people are looking for. I knew I needed somebody that was going to train me, because I only just passed the test and I said, I have no idea what I'm supposed to do next. So I needed training. I wanted support and some kind of mentorship and structure, like helping me. I asked a lot of questions, and I knew that I needed systems, like things I could plug into. I wasn't worried about the commission. As a matter of fact, this will really date me. I was on a 50-50 split with a 5% franchise fee until I earned $10,000. That was a 45% split. Okay.
That was not uncommon.
However, I had all the tools, all the things that I needed, because so many people will just go pick a commission, and 80% or 100% of nothing is a big fat nothing. Okay,
that's right.
And you need support and tools, and it's not all about leads. You may want to be able to see. You need to know what the quality of the leads are. Are they going to show you how to get leads? That's what's important. So I interviewed 3 brokers, and I went to a career night at the time it was Americana, Better Homes and Gardens. It then became Prudential. I think were you ever Prudential? No, you were always first team.
No, I was at Prudential. No, not as an agent. No, I was in management in Prudential.
Okay, so you know the Prudential brand. Now it's Berkshire Hathaway. And I, to this day, know I made the right choice, because I ended up staying with them through a couple name changes for 16 years. And it's the reason why, that I am here today, because I learned how to do the business. Okay, so enough on that. Don't choose because they're closest to your house.
No.
And, you like the color of the branding or whatever. You need these tools. Okay, you need the things that we cover in there. And then the beginning of the guide here is talking about, just a lot of our experiences about, the mindset, what it takes to be successful in the business. I do think you have to be ready for the reality that you're not going to get paid right away in 30 days. It may take you 30 days to get a license. I mean, you apply for the license, depending on where you live. The license may take several weeks to process. Like right now, it's taking about 30 days in Nevada. So we'll get into what the first 30 days are. So I don't like it when people are told, you're not going to have a deal for 6 months. All I want to say about this part of our guide is, whatever you think about and create and intentions you set, if you believe that crap that you're hearing online, that it's all good, then I don't know if you're in the business past month 7. If you keep on saying to yourself, it's okay if I don't have a deal in escrow by month 6. I like to set the intention by the first 90 days. You will have somebody you're working with very close, if not already opened up an escrow. Okay. Because it's critical. And we built this guide so that you're not in the mindset of, I don't have to do anything for 6 months. Okay.
Right.
All right. And then we're introducing into our new agent guide a modified version of this Do the Daily. This thing is completely what I've lived by in selling in the last 4 or 5 years. And I share with all my clients. The Do the Daily is 5 blocks of time that you put in your calendar. And just very briefly here. And so we've done this so that each of the 90 days has a bit of a modification to the active clients. And if you don't have any active clients, things you can be doing to get ready for active clients. But we do want you right away starting to do things. So you're going to get in front of, once you have a license. Okay. I have to put that caveat in, Matt. You can't go out and talk to people about selling until your physical license arrives in your office in most states. Okay. So all of the blocks, the first block is always a morning routine. You get up, even if it's 10 or 15 minutes, and you do something for yourself. And Matt, one of the things when I was playing with this, it's along the lines of what we do at Wandering But Not Lost, where, by the way, we have a lot of content at Wandering But Not Lost to help you with this daily routine. Yep. And I went mindset, movement, and motivation. That, to me, is do something in those 3 areas in your morning routine. What are you doing for your mindset? What are you doing to move your body? And what are you doing to motivate or get yourself set up? That's the purpose of the morning routine, okay? So that's my new thing, man. It's the
Like
three
it.
M's for morning
I'll be
routine.
holding you accountable
Morning
for that.
routine has three things, and every day you start with that. And then the rest of the blocks are the second block is 1 to 2 hours of building new business. Okay, so we explain what we mean by that, and then when we go through the 90 days, we're going to show you what kind of things you should be doing, and then add on in the 60, the second month and the third month. Then block 3 is always lead follow-up. So you generate business for 1 to 2 hours a day, 5 days a week, and then you make sure you spend at least an hour or so, 30 minutes to an hour, following up with people that are in your CRM that you met, and for you in the beginning, you won't have much of this. You might be reaching out to sphere of influence and so forth. And then the fourth block is active clients. So in our modified version, we're having you practice, make sure you're doing buyer presentations and practicing your listing presentations, and maybe going out and shadowing people, so you're ready when you have active clients. Okay. Mm-hmm. And block 5 is where, this is the trap, everybody. Block 5 is where most new agents spend the majority of their time. And I'm talking 80-90% of their time.
Absolutely.
And that is admin, ultimately pending transactions. And that's all the other stuff that's not one of those other 4 blocks. Okay. So we have a little rule. You put it in your block of time. If it's not scheduled, those blocks aren't scheduled, then you're not doing them, and you start to build the habit right away about blocking your time. So the long and short of the first 30 days is to onboard. Okay, the first 30 days you need to onboard with your broker. We have a list of things that you want to make sure that you handle, and this is everything from setting up your email and your broker systems and voicemail and all the things you have to do. Get your orientation done at the association. Start learning the tools that you have. Get enrolled in your broker's training program, right? Sign up for training that you have at the MLS, anywhere else that you have training. And by the way, if you need training, we have training. And there's a link in there for WBNL Coaching's Real Estate Sales Builder. You can learn all about the foundational training and what we're doing to update that. And we're excited about, we're not going to talk about it here, but just know that if you get on board with us with that, you'll have all the new future updates that we're going to be doing. We're talking about if you set up your AI tools, if you haven't done that. You don't need all of them. Pick something, ChatGPT, Gemini, whatever you're going to do. We talk about a tool we have that's free for a profile card. Learn right now how to set up your AI that's going to be your assistant to help you as a true real estate assistant from the first 90 days, okay? So we have some resources in there for you that. And then it's just going to walk you through, very first thing we always have trained people on is you start adding people to your database, the people you know, people who know you. Could be business people, it could be whoever. And then you're going to send an announcement out. Well, we've got a prompt in there for you to tell you, ask your AI to help you with variations of how to write notes about what you're doing. You're going to love it. I wish I had had something like that.
I was just going to say that, Jen. Oh my gosh. If we had AI back when we were starting this business, it would be a whole different ball game, because
oh my goodness,
it can help you so much because you don't know. And it's going to help you. It's going to save you so much time of the unknown as you work with your AI. And these AI prompts we have in the guide are fantastic.
They are. And I'm so excited about this project because I'm doing it with Matt from the perspective of, if we were to, which I'm not doing, just hear me out here. Yeah. I'm never going to go back and start a real estate company. However, if I were to start a real estate company and hire new agents, this is what I would be training them on. And that's what we're going to do with our Sales Builder program to get it to today's tech tools, foundational stuff that you have to do in real estate, but completely leverage with the AI that can help you do your business. Yep. So other things in the day 1 or day 30, first 30 is setting up your online presence, decide if you're going to use social media, setting things up like Zillow, Realtor.com. We have another prompt to help you write a bio. Woo-hoo. Bio for short versions, for bio in a Instagram, to medium-sized bios that you need to go put in Zillow and your website and so forth. Then we're going to start talking to you about learning your market. Go and start studying an area. Use the MLS to start learning. Go preview homes. This is where if you have new homes, we're telling you at least once or twice a week, go visit a new home track. We've given you all the questions to ask so you can start building a learning database, a knowledge database, if you will, on new homes in your area. Awesome. Consider creating your first content. We've got ideas on that. Even download with our free guide on what to do with all that stuff. shadow and learn other people. See if you can go along with somebody on a closing appointment or hold an open house or watch somebody hold an open house. So by the end of each of these sections says by the end of that first 30 days, here's everything you should have accomplished. Okay, so we got the checklist there. Let's go to the next 60 day, the second
30 days.
31 to 60. Now we're going to build on what you did. Everything's always about do the daily. So we're kind of recapping those 5 blocks. Practice your presentations. Here's where we're saying, hey, does your broker have a listing presentation, a buyer presentation? Start with that. How to leverage AI to help you with that. How to use your AI. We have a prompt in here with that you can use your AI. This is so cool, Matt.
It's awesome.
Use your AI to do role playing with you, where you ask it to do questions, like it needs to be the buyer asking the questions, and then you're responding, and you can get some feedback right away. Okay. Now you should do this with your company and so forth, but I'm going to suggest that you try this. It's very cool. Okay.
Yeah. Fun.
Buyer consultation role play prompt. Okay. Work on any other marketing materials, hold an open house. This is the stuff that's in that next 30 days.
Sure.
Start considering what you're going to do. You've put people into the database. What are you going to do? And continue to send out those announcements, and you're letting people know that you're in the business and how excited you are about it. Now you need to you're continuing to train, but you need to make sure that you're deep diving on the transaction processes. You understand how to write all the contracts for a buyer or seller. Start thinking about doing video, get comfortable on camera. We give you some tips on that, ideas on how to track your numbers, and then the checklist for that next 30 days. Okay. And your final 30 days are just going a little bit deeper. We always start with the morning routine and what you're going to do in this next 30 days, how you're going to add on. We're continuing to add on and build skills. Now we're just talking, do more volume. Mm-hmm. Reach out to more people, do more content, double down on what's working for you. Remember, through your brokerage training, you should be learning about ways to generate business, whether it's expireds, for sale by owners, open houses, networking, and so on. So a couple other things are going to be in here about set up a weekly review idea, go get some feedback from your coach or mentor, consider doing a niche market or farm. Yep. Your company will help you with that. And then consider, and I recommend highly, launch your monthly newsletter, email newsletter. That's where we've got a flow on what the content the blocks of content that could be in a newsletter. It's the one, ours is a very successful. We get 60 to 65% open rate, and an AI prompt. We're giving you the AI prompt and how you get the content for that. Okay. And then you just check. This is also where you could have originally maybe set some intentions if you wanted to in the beginning, but you almost need to go through the first 90 days. Now you're going to sit down, you have a little experience, sit down with your business coach, broker, whoever, and do your real, no kidding, business plan, if you will, and how many transactions you want to do. You could have done this sooner, but by the end of 90 days, you want to have very clear goals in all areas of your life, as well as what's your 6 month and maybe rest of the year closing.
Really and truly,
you want to make, right?
Yeah. Yeah, really and truly, it's better to wait a little bit before you do this business planning, because you don't know what's going to work and what's not going to work for you. You might be the best door knocker in the world. That is not the norm in real estate, but maybe it is. You know what I mean? Or maybe open houses are going to be your thing, or whatever. I mean, you can't put numbers into a prospecting type if you don't know if that's going to be a prospecting type that works for you. So you don't have to wait 90 days, but give things a try before you start making a plan around something.
Yeah. So we'll have the little checklist for the last month, and then we also put a section in here called what to avoid in your first 90 days. And so I have a little thing I always call it the getting ready to get ready syndrome. And I was referencing it a little bit at the top of the show about how, when I was talking about do the daily, I did it. This is why I can speak to it, because I did it. I was like, man, I put like 40, 50 hours in work this week, but I absolutely look back with some coaching help to see I did nothing to get myself in a buying and selling situation. Uh-huh. It was all comfortable things, learning and working on marketing materials and, that kind of stuff, right? I don't know enough to get out there yet. You can't do that. Don't jump right into spending money on leads before you start figuring out what you're going to do. You might work with a team where there are leads. Trying to be the expert in everything or every neighborhood. Just take bites of this, right? Comparing yourself to experienced agents right off the bat. So we've got some things to avoid. And then we've got those bonus questions to ask on-site sales agents for new homes. And then we've got the newsletter template there for you. So there is everything that you need. Your brokerage hopefully will help you with the things that are in here. There's not how to go do all of that. We have that in our real estate sales builder if you need help, but wherever you went to work should have the how to do the parts that we're talking about in this checklist. It was meant to give you a structured guide to not feel overwhelmed. Most people are completely overwhelmed and they don't know what to do, and then they paralyze and don't do anything. So we hope you love that. We encourage you to go over to WBNL Coaching and download it and get excited about your career.
Yeah, and we'll talk a little bit more about where you go to get that in just a minute. So time for this week's Compass Check. So let's jump right in on that. For those of you who have passed the test already, if you do nothing else this week, schedule one brokerage conversation. Get that interview set up. Now, we want you to schedule at least 3 of these things so you can have, so you can ask those questions to more than one person, get the answers you want, and make your decision. But sometimes just taking that first step is what you need to do. So schedule at least one broker interview this week. You don't have to do all 3. If you do, kudos to you, right? But don't do it someday. Do it now. Get that over with, because momentum starts with a single step. And if we've given you the tool to knock that out of the park, that's what we've built here, right? If you're not to that point yet, review the plan. Take a look at our guide. See what's going on there. So when your day comes and you have passed that test, you'll be ready. You can hit the ground running.
We're very excited about that, right? And here's the thing to let go of. It's a mindset thing. Let go of the thought or the idea that confidence has to come first. Confidence comes after you take action. Confidence comes the more you put yourself out there. It's like that feel the fear and do it anyway. However, I also want to say you need to trust the process. You do know more than the people that you're talking to for the most part, unless they happen to be in the real estate business at one day, that you really do know more. And you just have to have the confidence that I am going to be okay if I do something, don't get the answer to something, I know how to get if I can't answer a client's question, I know how to get the answer. So there's a certain sense of what I'm trying to say is there's a certain sense of act confident, be confident, but the confident you're looking for internally because you don't have any experience yet only comes with experience, but doesn't mean that you can't act as if you're already the most confident person out there. Okay. So everything that we touched today, the questions, the structure, the 30, 60, 90 day flow, those little, the do the daily and those bonus deals, that is all in our new agent 90-day action plan. Matt?
Yeah, and this guide is something that we already said this, that we wish we had when we were first starting. We wish every agent out there had that, and now we're building it, so now every agent can have that, because the difference between an agent who makes it and the agent who quits in year 1 is not talent at all. It's following the system.
It is. It's having a plan. It's having an action plan and then actually doing it. That's the deal. And you can grab this completely for free over at WBNLcoaching.com. Click on our downloads button right on the homepage, and it will be front and center for you. You'll have everything that you need, whether you're thinking about getting a license, you're studying for the test, or you're already past it. You'll have what you need to get off to a great start and be one of those people that makes it in the business.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wouldn't that be nice? Yeah, because we're gonna arm you. And if this episode made you think of someone studying right now for the test, someone who just passed the test, send the link over to them or mention it to them, because it'll help them out as they go along.
Yeah, and I really do believe if you're still with us and this is impacting you, it's because this moment, this now what moment, it's really matters more than I think most people realize. And I think I am sensing people do realize that, because I'm in the environment of teaching new people, and they're just so, I don't even know what I don't know or what to ask. Okay. Remember, you're not just getting into real estate. You're not just getting into real estate sales. You're building a business, something that can really, truly change your life.
Right. So let's build it the right way.
All right. We'll see you on the trail, and we'll see you next week with our next episode here from Wandering But Not Lost and WBNL Coaching.
Keep wandering.